Hey, welcome back to Next Level English, the podcast where we take your English from average to absolutely unstoppable. I am your host, Maya, and today we are diving into something that every single English learner needs right now in this digital world. We are talking about the language of social media, the words, the phrases, the expressions that people use every single day online. And if you do not know them, you are going to feel completely lost in conversations, in comments, in group chats, everywhere. So stay with us because by the end of this episode, you are going to sound like you were born speaking internet English. Let us get into it.
And I am Tom, Maya's partner here on the show, and I have to say, this topic is one of my absolute favorites because social media language moves so fast. A word that was trendy 6 months ago might already feel outdated today. So we want to teach you the core vocabulary, the kind that has real staying power, the kind that will make you sound natural and fluent in digital spaces.
Exactly. And Tom, let us start with something super fundamental because a lot of learners, they know basic English, right? They can write an email, they can have a conversation, but then they open Instagram or TikTok or even a YouTube comment section, and suddenly it feels like a completely different language.
It really does. And you know what? That is not your fault at all. Digital English has its own grammar, its own rhythm, its own personality. And once you understand that personality, everything clicks.
So let us start with what we call digital communication chunks. Now, a chunk in English learning is a group of words that go together naturally, like a little package of meaning. And social media is absolutely full of these chunks. The first one I want to teach today is go viral. Go viral. This means when a piece of content, a video, a post, a photo, spreads very fast across the internet and reaches a huge number of people very quickly.
Go viral. Yes, and you will hear this one constantly. Somebody posts a funny video and suddenly millions of people are watching it. You say that video went viral. Or people might say, I'm trying to make my content go viral. Go viral. Write that one down, everybody.
And here's how you use it in a real sentence. You could say, that clip of the dog dancing went viral overnight, and now everyone is talking about it. So the structure is simple. Something goes viral, or something went viral. The verb changes with the tense, but the chunk stays the same.
I love that example. Now, the next chunk I want to add to this is blow up. Blow up. Now, this one is interesting because if you hear it outside of social media, blow up usually means an explosion, right? Something dangerous. But online, when someone says their account blew up, it means their following grew massively and very suddenly. Blow up.
Blow up. Such a powerful phrase. And Tom, you're so right that context completely changes the meaning here. If someone says, my TikTok blew up last week, they're not describing anything scary. They're saying, I got thousands of new followers very quickly. Blow up. Really important chunk for our audience to catch.
Absolutely. And you might also hear people say, I'm waiting for my page to blow up, or ever since that one post, my whole account blew up. So it's used for that sudden, explosive growth in attention or followers.
Now let's move into some vocabulary around how people interact with content online, because this is where a lot of English learners get confused. They see words that look simple but have very specific meanings in this digital context. Tom, can you take us through some of those?
Sure. So the first word I want to talk about is engage. Engage and engagement. Now, in general English, engage means to involve yourself in something or to connect with something. But on social media, engagement refers specifically to how people interact with your content. Likes, comments, shares, saves, all of that is engagement. Engagement.
Engagement. And you'll hear creators say things like, my engagement is really low this week, or this post got so much engagement. What they mean is people are actively responding to and interacting with the content. Engagement. That's a word worth repeating because you're going to see it everywhere, especially if you ever want to create content yourself.
The next one is algorithm. Now this one sounds very technical, right? But every social media user talks about it all the time, even people who don't fully understand what it is.
Which is honestly most of us.
So true. The algorithm is basically the invisible system that decides who sees what content on a platform. So when people say the algorithm pushed my video to a wider audience, they mean the platform system decided to show that video to a wider audience. Or someone might say, I've been posting consistently because I want to please the algorithm. Algorithm.
Algorithm. And a really useful sentence with this word is the algorithm rewards content that keeps people watching for a long time. Meaning, if your video or post holds people's attention, the system will show it to more and more users. Algorithm. Keep that one in your vocabulary bank.
Now, let's talk about some of the more conversational vocabulary, the kind of language people actually write in comments, in captions, in direct messages. Maya, what do you have for us here?
Okay, so this section is really close to my heart because this is where English gets really alive and fun online. The first expression I want to teach is I'm here for it. I'm here for it. This is a way of saying you fully support something, you're enthusiastic about it, you love it. If someone posts about a new trend and you're excited about it, you might comment, I'm here for it.
I'm here for it, yes. And you can also say, I'm so here for this. Adding so makes it more intense and enthusiastic. It's one of those expressions that just signals positivity and approval in a very relaxed, modern way. I'm here for it.
Exactly. And a related expression is that's giving. That's giving. Now, this one is newer and comes from a particular community of English speakers, but it has become very widespread now. When you say something is giving, you're saying it has a certain quality or vibe. For example, that outfit is giving summer vacation, or the way she decorated her room is giving cozy library vibes. That's giving.
That's giving. I love how expressive that phrase is. It's almost like you're saying something radiates a particular energy. And honestly, once you start hearing it, you'll notice it everywhere in comments and captions. That's giving.
Now, let's shift into some vocabulary around trends and what's popular, because the word trend itself is one you already know, but there are so many phrases built around it that are super important. Tom, can you walk us through a few?
Of course. So we have trending. Trending just means something is very popular right now, at this moment. If you look at the search bar on any platform, there's usually a section called trending topics, meaning these are the things everyone is talking about right now. Trending.
And people use it as an adjective all the time, like, have you seen that trending sound on TikTok? Or, I want to make a post about this trending topic. Trending, very versatile word.
Then we have on trend, on trend. Now this one's slightly different because it means something aligns with what's fashionable or popular right now. You might say that content style is really on trend this season, or her editing style is so on trend right now, on trend.
Ah, yes. And the opposite would be saying something is off trend or outdated. So if you use slang from 2 years ago, someone might gently tell you that's not really on trend anymore. Which, let's be honest, happens to all of us.
It really does. And actually, speaking of slang, let's get into some specific social media slang that our audience absolutely needs to know, because this is where English gets really informal and really fun. Maya, you want to kick us off?
Gladly. So the first one is low-key. Low-key. This word means something is understated, a little bit secret, or you're admitting something quietly without making a big deal of it. For example, I low-key love reality TV, meaning I love it, but I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, or I don't broadcast it loudly. Low-key.
Low key, and it can also describe something that's subtle or not very intense. Like that coffee shop is low key the best in the city, meaning it's really good, but not everyone knows about it yet. Low key, really useful and very natural sounding word to add to your English. Low key.
And on the opposite end, we have high key. High key. This means you're being very open, very obvious, or very intense about something. Like, I high key need a vacation right now. You're not hiding that feeling at all. High key. Low key and high key are a great pair to learn together.
Now, another really important piece of social media vocabulary is around reactions, because when you're in the comments, you're constantly reacting to things. And there are specific ways people express those reactions in modern English. One of the biggest ones is no cap. No cap. This means I'm telling the truth. I'm being serious. I'm not exaggerating. Like, that was the best concert I've ever been to. No cap. No cap.
No cap. And the opposite is cap. If you say someone is capping, you mean they are lying or exaggerating. So you might see in a comment, "Are you capping right now?" Meaning, are you seriously telling the truth or are you making that up? Cap and no cap. Really important pair. No cap.
Another reaction phrase is it hits different. It hits different. This means something affects you in a special or unique way, often emotionally. Like listening to that song at night just hits different, or coffee on a cold morning hits different. It hits different.
It hits different. And what I love about this phrase is how universal it is. You can use it for music, food, experiences, memories, anything that has a powerful emotional quality. It hits different. That is one our audience should really hold on to because it sounds so natural and so fluent.
Absolutely. Now, let us talk about content creation language because so many English learners are also content creators or aspiring content creators, and this vocabulary is essential for them. Maya, what are the key terms here?
Great area. So first is niche. Niche. Your niche is your specific topic, your specific audience, your specific corner of the internet. If you make videos only about studying English, your niche is English learning. If you post about cooking Korean food, your niche is Korean cooking. Niche.
Niche. And people ask each other constantly, what is your niche? Or you really found your niche with that content. And finding your niche is considered one of the most important steps to growing online. Niche.
Then we have the vocabulary around the process of posting. People talk about dropping content, drop content. Drop means to release or publish. So dropping a video means posting it. I am dropping a new video tomorrow. Dropping content.
And also collab. Collab is short for collaboration. When two creators work together on a piece of content, that is a collab. Like Maya and I just collabed on this episode, which is exactly what we are doing right now. Collab.
Meta. And then there's DM. DM stands for direct message. This is when you send a private message to someone on a social platform. You might say, slide into my DMs, which means send me a private message, or I will DM you the details. DM. Everyone uses this one, and it also works as a verb.
DM as a verb. Yes, I DM'd you yesterday. Very natural. Now, Maya, before we wrap up, I want to make sure we cover one more really important section, which is the language of digital feelings and reactions, because there's so much nuance here.
Yes, absolutely. So first is slay. Slay. To slay means to do something brilliantly, to perform amazingly, to look incredible. You might comment on someone's photo, "You are slaying." Or you might say, "She absolutely slayed that presentation." Slay.
Slay. And there's also the motivational use of it, like go out there and slay today. It's encouraging and energetic. Slay.
Then we have main character energy. Main character energy. This is a longer phrase, but such a good one. Main character energy means someone is acting with a lot of confidence and presence, like they're the star of their own movie. That walk, that confidence, she has main character energy. Main character energy.
Ah, I love that one. And also, understood the assignment. Understood the assignment. This means someone completely nailed what was expected of them. They delivered exactly what was needed. They got it perfectly right. The photographer for that shoot completely understood the assignment. Understood the assignment.
Understood the assignment. And I will say, these longer phrases are the ones that really separate intermediate English from advanced English. Native speakers do not just use individual words, they use these full expressive chunks. And when you use them naturally, people notice. Understood the assignment. Main character energy. It hits different. These are the kinds of phrases that make your English feel alive.
Exactly. And I want to circle back for a moment to a few key words from today because repetition is how we really absorb language. So let's do a quick round. Engagement.
Engagement. How people interact with your content online. Likes, comments, shares.
Algorithm.
Algorithm. The invisible system that decides who sees what content on a platform.
Trending.
Trending. Something that is popular and being widely discussed right now.
No cap.
No cap. I'm telling the truth. I'm being completely serious.
And slay.
slay, to do something brilliantly, to look incredible, to perform amazingly.
Beautiful. And one final vocabulary set I want to leave our audience with is around online communities and belonging, because this is really the heart of why people use social media at all. The word community is huge online. Your community is your group of followers, your fans, your people.
And then there's stan. Stan. To stan someone means to be a very devoted, enthusiastic fan of someone. Like, I stan that artist, meaning I love and support them intensely. And a group of fans might be called a stan community or a fandom. Stan.
Stan. And you can also use it lightly and humorously, like I stan that coffee shop, meaning I'm a huge fan. Stan.
Then the last one I want to share is ratio. Ratio. On social media, when someone says you got ratioed, it means your post got far more replies or negative reactions than it got likes. It usually suggests a lot of people disagreed with you or called you out. Getting ratioed is generally not a good thing. Ratio.
Ratioed, yes. Not something anyone wants, but really important to know so you understand what people are talking about in comment sections. Ratioed.
All right, everyone. We've covered so much ground today. We talked about social media chunks like go viral and blow up. We learned vocabulary like algorithm, engagement, and trending. We explored expressive phrases like it hits different, no cap, understood the assignment, and main character energy. And we got into some essential slang like low-key, high-key, slay, and stan. That's a whole new level of digital English right there.
And remember, the best way to make this vocabulary stick is actually to use it. Next time you're on social media, try using one of these phrases in a comment. Try writing a caption using one of these chunks. Try describing something as low-key amazing, or say that a video hit different. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes.
Exactly. Language lives in practice, not just in notes. And we're here to make sure your English doesn't just sit on a page, but actually flows out of you naturally and confidently in every digital space you enter.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. This is Next Level English, and we genuinely love having you here in this community.
If this episode helped you, share it with someone who's learning English too. Drop us a comment, send us a DM. Let us know which phrase from today was your favorite. We'd love to hear from you.
Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and as always,
Go out there and absolutely slay. See you next episode.